Hey Scorpio, how's it going? What I was seeing in the pre-shuffle was the moon, and I was also seeing Two of Swords, and with that type of energy, there can be something about what's coming up that you feel unsure about, and whether this be like your own choice where you're like, I don't know what exactly I want to do about that yet, or it's like kind of up to the environment or another person and you don't know like what's going to be chosen or what's going to be happening. There can be a little bit of being in a space where what's going to come next can be a little bit, it can feel undecided right now, or it can still feel a little bit up in the air. We are beginning with the Chariot. Chariot, King of Wands, Nine of Swords. This feels like you're showing up and doing what you need to be doing, but you can still be looking down at your feet a little bit, like feeling uncomfortable within the energy, or you can really be second guessing yourself here, because generally with the King of Wands, we see somebody that has it all together and doesn't really like question themselves from a place of insecurity. But having that Nine of Swords, there can be something going on where maybe you're showing up and the way that it looks from the outside looking in is that you like have it all together and you're figuring it out and that things are moving forward. Because I am seeing things move forward, but as far as like how you feel on the inside, that can be different. And maybe you even know that like physically you're making progress with things, or like in 3D you can see stuff that's developing. And that you are at the helm of this, you're the one that's pushing this through. But as far as like your inner perspective of what's going on, there can be stuff happening where you feel like you're stuck in a bit of a loop here. You just keep going around and around in your head. In your heart and in your mind. Now here this Two of Swords is coming back out again. I think that like you can be questioning the way that you feel if you're even seeing everything here that you need to be seeing, and then you can be like, well, am I looking too much into this also? There can be a relationship choice that needs to be made, a choice based off of your feeling as well. I mean, it doesn't have to be a relationship choice. For some of you it is, but for others of you, this is just going to be like, okay, I'm getting the feeling about this, now what to do about this? And you can feel like you're still unsure, like you keep going around and around. Maybe there's a part of you that feels kind of restless though, because like you want to get things moving, but then you're like, okay, well, this is popping up now, what do I do with that? And you can feel like stunned or like stuck a little bit here. The energy is weird though, because having Chariot and having King of Wands shows that there's movement and development, but then having Nine of Swords, Page of Cups squished between Nine of Swords and Two of Swords will be something that's not moving. So there's movement, and then there's also movement that's not happening. And you can also be trying to figure out, like, based off of the way that I feel, what do I really want to do with this? Just in general, because I think once you've made your mind up, it's just going to be a matter of doing what you need to do, but you can feel like you can't really move forward until you have made your mind up, and you may not totally be there yet. This can definitely be just overthinking and that you need to just push forward, but I'm going to clarify Two of Swords and see if maybe something else is going on. Like, is it more than just that? Okay. The advice for handling this situation is aligned with, you know, when you're working on something, you're trying to like solve a puzzle and you're sitting down at the table and you're looking at it and you're like scratching your head, I just can't figure this thing out. And then you like get up to go get a glass of water and then you come back and you look at it and you're like, oh, the answer's been right there in front of me. I see it so clearly now. This situation is one of those situations. So this looks like you've been spending too much time on this. You need to get up, you need to go take a walk, you need to do something else. You're going to come back and then the way forward is going to feel much more obvious to you. This feels like you're too close to this situation right now and you need to pause and you need to take a break because you're not getting anywhere doing things like this. So yeah, you're way too zoomed in with this. You need to take a step back and then you're going to come back to it and it's going to be clear to you. You're definitely on your way forward. I feel like you may have hit a little bit of a bump in the road here. And then you were like, I don't know what to do about this, but I don't think that this is anything super complicated. I think you're just too zoomed in. And you can be getting like more confused the more that you're looking at this. So that's why you have to step away for a little bit. Just like put your mind on something else and then come back. I'm getting something about having a lump in your throat. Okay, you're on the verge of correcting something here. I'm looking at Libra and Scorpio, and do we have anybody else? Cancer. Cancer, Libra, Scorpio. We also have the Sun. Having Chariot and having Four of Cups, this can be like trying to overcome this like stagnancy that you can be experiencing. What this also means too is that you may have to do something that you don't really want to do, but it's required of you in order to make it through. It's kind of like a roadblock that you hit and you're like, I don't want to have to deal with this. But then like the only way forward is by you dealing with it, but it can just be something that you don't really want to be dealing with right now. And so I think like working with that part of you, because this doesn't feel like something that you can't do. This looks like something that you're very clearly capable of, but it can be something where it's the challenge for you is not moving through this. It's about connecting with your solar plexus energy, connecting with your willpower, connecting with your motivation to move through this. So yeah, the actual obstacle is not difficult for you. It's not anything that you can't do. It's about motivating yourself to do it. So that's actually what this is about. And this also feels too like there may be potentially like something huge closing out for you, but having that Two of Swords above it can be like, well, I didn't do it yet. I still haven't done it yet. And I'm seeing you getting closer and closer to that point, but that this is something where you're like, I don't want to. It's like all you have left is the vegetables on your plate and you don't want to do it, and your guides are like trying to distract you and like do the airplane, so you just like do the thing and digest this and process it and move forward. But I definitely get something that's just like not being done here with this. But you can also feel like this is looming over your head until you do it. But I get like it's one of those times when you cannot like really be feeling yourself. Having both Four of Pentacles and having Four of Cups here and having both of these attached to like feeling cards, because Four of Pentacles is connected with Page of Cups. We have Four of Cups connected with Chariot. When we are like very emotionally driven, but there can be a bit of a drought that you're experiencing, trying to like motivate yourself right now can feel really hard, and you can feel like you want to be still and like you don't really have the energy for this, but you kind of need to do it at the same time. It's like, I have to do the thing, I don't really want to do the thing, I'm capable of doing the thing, but I'm having a hard time finding the motivation. You can be like really holding on, but you can be using the power that it takes for you to do this. You can be using it to just like hold everything really tightly right now. So then you don't have any energy to actually like let go and do what you need to do in this scenario. But also there's this part of you that's like, this doesn't feel right and things are out of whack and it needs to be corrected. But then there's this thing of like, I think that you're questioning yourself and not really trusting yourself, because with the Queen of Wands here, this is the part of you that you like look at something and you handle it, but having Nine of Swords above, it's like going around and around and around and around, and the only movement that's happening is internal and it's in your head, and you're spinning around getting seasick right now, but you're not physically doing anything and making a move. If I'm just like reading between the lines of the reading and everything that I'm seeing, this looks like you're going to do it. You're just procrastinating doing this. Like you're going to close this out. It feels inevitable that this is going to happen. But the reason why you can be putting it off is because you can feel like, I'm not ready to let go, but you can like know that this is going to happen. And as soon as you're ready to do that, it's going to move forward. So this doesn't feel like a matter of like, am I going to end this or not? This feels like you know that you're going to end it. You know that this is going to come to an end, but you can just be like, I don't know, like maybe you're still kind of psychologically preparing for this. You know that this is a correction that has to be made too. Like that's why this is being done. But that also means too that maybe you're like weighing this as well, and you're like, is this the right choice? Is this not the right choice? But I think it's gonna, I don't think that you would be at this point if this wasn't something that was gonna happen. This feels like something that you know is gonna happen, but you have to get over your like psychological and emotional blocks in order to actually do this. But it doesn't seem like something where you're like, I don't know if I should or shouldn't. This feels like it's gonna happen. But you can also be telling yourself that you feel like you're in more of like an oscillation or an in-between, where I don't think that that's actually the case. That feels like something that's like that's popping up, like something that's popping up and making itself seem relevant that I don't think is like actually relevant, and I don't think is actually going to be weighed into this ultimately, because I don't think that it carries that amount of weight, and I think you're just going to end up closing this out, because that is where you're going. We start with Chariot and we end with Death. So this is about all the obstacles that you have to move through in order to close this cycle out permanently. Like, this is going to be finished totally and completely. Some of you, you may be ready to do this in March. It may actually take you that long to do this. I'm getting a little bit of something here that's connected with this. This can be like February, March, or around that time. Like it doesn't have to. Like, this is something that it can be done tomorrow if you're ready to do this. But yeah, as far as what I'm seeing here, I think that this is like pretty much a sure thing. It's just a matter of like when you're going to decide to do it, and that you are the one that's fully in control of when that happens, which you can know. But I don't know, like maybe something has been shaking your self-trust or your confidence within yourself lately. A lot of you, I'm seeing this has to do with a relationship that you have. That you have not really been feeling it, and you've also not really been feeling yourself. And you can also feel like if you continue to maintain this relationship, that it's something that doesn't allow you to like feel good while you remain within it. But you can also know that this is going to be a big thing for you emotionally. And maybe there's a part of you that's like, I don't want to have to go through that right now. It's going to be a whole thing. So that can be part of the reason why. But at the same time, there can be a pressure that, you know, like things aren't going to feel right and you're not going to feel at ease until you do this. It's like you have to do the hard thing, the correction is going to be made, then you're going to feel better, you'll feel the relief, but it's just like getting yourself to that point. I feel like you really got to like support and encourage yourself to just do it. Just do what you need to do here and then move forward with things. Because you know that if stuff was right, you wouldn't be feeling like this. Like, you would be feeling much better. You're not feeling good right now. And it's because this needs to be corrected. But yeah, that means that it also like challenges your control issues. But this actually feels like something so simple. Like, you know what to do. It's not that complicated. It's just a matter of like when you do it now at this point. And I keep feeling this like scratching on my right side of the throat chakra. So this can be something that needs to be communicated, that is being held in right now, that you're gonna have to come out with this and say it. And like, be honest about the way that you're feeling. Some of you too, I will say this, if you've been working on something creatively, this may be something that you lost passion for and you don't want to do it anymore. And even though it can be something, it can be a relationship too, but whatever this is, it feels like something that's like on a smaller level. It can be something that you lost passion for. You don't want to be doing it anymore, and you're going to close it out. Even though it's like something that you could continue taking care of, it can be something that you don't want to do that anymore. And you can feel like your energy would be better. Like, this aspect of your energy, because I'm getting some strong fire energy here. You can feel like if you're not like giving this part of you something like passionate to be doing, that is just like wasting its energy away on this thing that you don't really feel that way about. And so it can be something where you feel like it's kind of killing off your life force a little bit. And so even though you could continue to do this, you can look at it and be like, I'm withering away. Like, why am I spending my energy doing this? So that's also something too, where you can feel like there would be a much better use of your energy and your power and your love and your passion and your inspiration to be put into something that you actually like care about deeply, in a way that you just don't have that feeling for this. But that you're going to have to own that if this is something that you do. And this also feels like this is something that like you with you understand, where you can feel like maybe people from other perspectives, they're not going to understand this in the same way. So you have to trust yourself and do what you feel like is right. Like, this is about you taking ownership within the energy. Embracing your inner compass here, and then applying that sense of direction to navigate through this. Yeah. As I said before, this feels like something where you can be overcomplicating it. I don't think that this is very complicated. You know the way that you're feeling. You know the way something feels when it feels right. You know the way something feels when it doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. Make the correction. Simple as that. And I say that knowing that the death card is here, so this can feel like it's going to be a really big deal for you, but at the same time, it's not that you don't know what to do. So trust yourself. I think that's a really big part of this, that you know what's right for you, and you need to validate that for yourself, and you don't need anybody else's approval. You just know you with you here, and you're clear on that. All right, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting and tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.